All right, let's go ahead and talk about CSWA 2. And so I think the first place I would start is figuring out where to orient the planes in your drawing. So I can tell from each of these dimensions that one of the center points that we're going to be able to work off of is this center here, and it also kind of centers in this direction as well. So when we start our drawing, we should get the two planes that cross here, because we can draw a profile for this square part and extrude it this direction and this direction. Then we can draw another profile for the circular part and extrude it one distance this way and the other distance this way. So I started drawing part of it, and I'll just show you what I did. Okay. So if we look, we've got the front plane there, kind of down the middle of that. And then we've got the right plane down the middle here. When I extruded this, I extruded it in two different directions. So I'll show you what I mean. So edit feature. So I've got, if I turn this off, direction 2, you'll see that I started my sketch in the middle, on the middle plane, extruded it one direction, 10.5, and then I extruded it the second direction, 5.5, down there. So then we're working off of just that middle plane. And now we're going to start another sketch for the kind of square feature. So we're going to sketch this little section right here. All right, so we're going to start another sketch on that middle plane. All right, so what it looked like is this vertical line is tangent to this circle. So we're going to just bring it straight down. I'm just kind of guessing at where all this stuff lines up. I'm pretty sure that this line is tangent with this circle, and then this line is tangent with this circle. In order to extrude it, it needs to be a closed shape, and right now it's open. So we've got, just these lines, and we need to close in where the, this part of where the circle is. So the way I like to do that, instead of like drawing an arc that matches this, I usually like to do a function called convert entities. And so convert entities is super handy. So if you want the geometry on your sketch that's from another feature, you can click convert entities, and then you click the edge that you want, and it highlights it, and then you can say okay. And now this circle is on my sketch. That's part of my sketch now. So this is closed in here, and it also closes this in here. We don't need the rest of the circle. We just want this little arc section there. So we're going to say trim. Then we'll just drag across there. It's a little hard to see, but all we've got now is an arc, and we've got this, and we've got these lines. So we've got a closed section right there. So now what we can do is we're only going to draw half of this, and then we're going to add some dimensions. So let's get some dimensions. See what these are. So 2.25, and then 10 over there, 7 over to there, and I'll show you a cool feature. So sometimes you'll run into a dimension this way. So see how this is 10 all the way out here? You'd have to do some math to figure out what that dimension actually is, where we want to dimension it. So what SolidWorks does is it lets you create a construction line. And this is just a regular line right now, but if we click it and we come over here and we say construction, now we've got a construction line. We're going to use our dimension tool. And if we dimension to a construction line, we can get that dimension there. Or if we keep dragging it, it treats that construction line as a center line. So now we can dimension 10, and it dimensions, this to here is now 5, this to here is now 10. So it treats that like a center line, which is really handy. It's a nice feature to have. And it's not that I don't like doing math. It's just that if you do simple math 100 times, you're going to get an inaccuracy once in a while. And inaccuracies can, as much as you can eliminate that by doing something like this, the better off you're going to be. All right. 2.25. And this little section here is actually labeled on this view here, and that's 0.5. Okay, so 2.25 and 0.5. Okay, so as you can see, this isn't quite dimensioned yet. I can still drag this, or this isn't still blue. So we've got something else we need to mention. And so we're going to have to look around to see where that dimension is that we need. Let's see. You know what? Let's go back here. We make this tangent. Okay, there we go. We just needed a tangent relationship there. We didn't need another dimension. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to mirror this over here to the second side so we don't have to draw it again. So mirror entities. Let's just grab these. Mirror about. We're going to go over this line. And there we go. Let's see. Okay, so I just needed to make that tangent with that one. And now we're all set. Okay, so we'll turn it this direction. Extrude and select the contours. Select that one and this one. Now it selects both those contours. And again, we're going to do the little trick of 2 directions. And I can't remember what the distance was. So this full distance is 10. So we'll go 5 and 5. There we go. Okay. So now we've got the majority of our part completed. I'm going to stop right there because I think the rest of it you can probably handle. This was the trickiest part, I would say. And now you just got to, I think it's a through hole, and then you can just draw a square. And a lot of times the easiest square to use on that face, let's just draw one real quick, is going to be center point rectangle. And then you can just hover over the edge. Oops. Let's try that again. There's the center. Okay. And then you can, now it's just trapped on the center, and then you can dimension it where you need it to. So, all right, that should get you going. I guess the only other part I'll talk about again real quick is just the material. The material I think on this one is PET. So you come over to material, right click, and then I'm still in the sketch, that's why. Right click, edit material. And then you can select, so PET is a plastic. Then you can come down and look for PET. There it is. And then apply, close, and that will make your part plastic. And then to check the weight, you're gonna go to evaluate and mass properties. Drag this over here. And then we've got our mass, 37.9 pounds, which isn't accurate because the part's not complete yet. But that should get you going on how to complete that. All right. Talk to you soon.